Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and as you guys can see by the title, we are going to be talking about the Narcissist Chucky doll. The Narcissist Chucky doll. So, if you guys have dealt with a narcissist, being with them long enough, you will see the anger, you will see the inner child in them. You will see the love bombing where it's like, it's kind of like the adult child is trying to play grown up. Like, I know this is what they do in movies. I know this is what girls like, or this is what guys like. I know that this is the way society is supposed to be, right? Or this is what people like. People that have feelings, not people like me. People who are domesticated. And I say domesticated because I was watching the Chucky's Bride, you guys, and there was a scene where he said, oh, that's because you guys have been I think he was telling Tiffany, I'm not sure anymore, but he basically was saying that people are domesticated and he's basically a monster. He's a beast, like you see him coming. He's not hiding who he is. What you see is what you get, and what I found interesting about that was that it made me realize that just how you have wild animals, you have domesticated ones, like your normal, typical cats and dogs. And as a society as a whole, during this 2020, and we've seen everything kind of unfold itself, right? And it's giving us eyes to see these narcissists for who they are, the animals that they are, the monsters that they are. Because for a long time, a lot of people have been also programmed by society, with school, with religion. They've been domesticated as well, just like pets. And with everything on shutdown, it just makes you realize things that can go wrong. You start thinking about survival. You see all these people going to purchase weapons and things like that. And you see the violence that has increased because now no one's working. Most psychopaths that have families and are usually going to work, they're wild animals. See, narcissists know that they're wild, but they know that most people are domesticated. So what they do is they try to fit into what they believe it's normal. Although they're animals, they have found ways to domesticate themselves. So now that the program has been broken, the beast is out, you guys. So the mark of the beast is around you. The mark of the beast is in your home. If you're dealing with a narcissist, that's the beast. And these people will tell you who they are. They'll tell you, I'm evil. I'm a demon. I'm this, that. They have alter egos. They'll tell you, that's not who I am. I'm really Jason, I'm really Jason, but, I know that my real name is this, but that this is really who I am. And, if you're with them for years, you'll have moments where they'll when they're trying to discard you, and they'll tell you, hey, you remember this moment where I played this really nasty, disgusting trick that you really were super upset about? I still remember. Remember I denied it? I still remember. I was kidding. That's how evil and demonic they are. And right now, when I was watching this movie, I was like, wow, and it's free on YouTube, so I'm going to put the link down below. But while watching the Chucky's Bride, I realized that there was so many things in that movie. It's like, how the ending is going to go. You already seen this movie before. And it's like watching a movie that maybe before dealing with a narcissist, you might have not understood, or you thought you understood it. But after dealing with a narcissist and really watching it thoroughly, you will understand more of it and how psychotic narcissists make others feel. And in this particular case, in this movie, because I do believe they have Chucky's Child's Play, and I believe you can learn a lot from that one too. Everything is very graphic, you guys, so I want to point that out. Everything is really graphic, bloody. If you don't want to watch a horror flick, I do believe in, portals and, just watching things, imagery. I do believe, in watching what what you're consuming to your brain as well. I'm so against, that's why I don't watch TVs, but I did decide to watch this. It kind of, the title intrigued me, because once you learn about narcissism, and you just view everything differently. And even with the Chucky doll, it's like Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Nice Guy is that Mr. Nice Guy, that Jekyll and Hyde, that Jekyll and Hyde personality. And it's very interesting how the Chucky doll is like a child, because the narcissist is very childlike. But then they have so much anger. If you notice throughout the whole movie, Chucky's always angry. He always has an angry face. And then if he smiles, it's with this like sneaky smile look, like it's a sneaky smile, or like, I'm going to let you think you know what you're talking about. Or I'm going to let you enjoy this moment because I know that's really what you want, and I kind of pity you a little bit, but that doesn't mean I care about you. It's just I'm bored and I don't feel like playing with you right now. And he has this character about himself that is very narcissistic, where he just doesn't have any empathy towards Tiffany, his bride. And in the beginning of this movie, basically the real murderer, or should I say serial killer, was gunned down by the police. So his spirit, which is Chucky, ends up resurrecting in that doll. But before they resurrected the doll, right, a police officer came up to the scene to meet with Tiffany he took the Chucky doll out of the evidence department, and I guess Tiffany was going to pay him to get the Chucky doll because she was going to do a voodoo spell to resurrect the soul of Chucky. And this is what I thought was interesting. It's like she's going to resurrect his soul, meaning that this entity that's in this narcissist, this entity is the same as all the entities that are in all narcissists. These people are all the same, cut from the same cloth. Like literally, that's why when you listen to stories about narcissism, they all do the same things. They all say the same things. It's in many different ways, because it's different personas, but it's as if this spirit comes in and takes over this plastic doll, because this narcissist suffered some type of trauma during childhood, and they stop growing at that age, and they might be into drugs and doing bad things, so now they're open to this spirit that jumps in. And that's basically what the Chucky doll does, is the spirit lives in other people. So while that officer was on his way to deliver that doll to Tiffany, which is his wife, before he died as a serial killer by the police officers, she knew everything about him. She knew that he was into voodoo. She knew that he was a serial killer. They were in a relationship together when he was a human. So she had a voodoo book that was for dummies, literally. And so that's literally a subliminal trying to tell you that narcissists aren't that smart. They're really dumb. So the book said voodoo doll, voodoo spells or something like that for dummies. So that lets you know they're not intelligent, you guys. And that's what really shook me. And I was like, whoa, like this movie's deep, you know? So, anyway, after that, another thing I noticed was that when the officer was driving to meet up with Tiffany, bad things were happening. Like, I think he almost got into a car accident. So that lets you know that Tiffany was already putting a voodoo spell on him to make sure that he delivered that doll. Now, when the doll was delivered, Tiffany ends up killing the officer. And when she takes the doll out of the bag, Chucky's head was split. The doll's head was split in half. That lets you know that when a narcissist dies, when he is split, that other entity takes over. And it's like them having split personalities, you know? And I feel like that's what that split of his head represented when she took him out of the bag. And then the scene moves on where she starts practicing the voodoo spell on resurrecting him into the body. And this is where it really gets interesting. So on the next scene, when she finally resurrects him, he basically gets up and he's like, hey, Tiff, like nothing. Like it was very like emotionless. Like he didn't really appreciate that she resurrected him back. And on top of that, he gave her like a backhanded compliment where he was like, I thought you would have let yourself go by now, or something like that. And not only that, but she was wearing a wedding ring because before the police shot him in his original body, she had found a wedding ring in their home. And come to find out, I guess he murdered a young lady, and he murdered her, threw her in a barrel, I believe, and he took her ring. And he was saying like, oh, I took that ring because it's worth a lot of money. You know how much money we can get for that? So automatically, he basically treats her as if he never left her. He treats her as if he should have been there for her. He is surprised that she's there for her, but then he's thinking to himself and he's thinking, yeah, Tiff is always there for me, you know, because that's his main slave that's always been there for him, because she's accepted that he's a murderer. She's a serial killer, and she's accepted him for who he is, and she's actually gave her soul, you know, to be like him. And it's like a woman demon entity in her, and I believe that that's the female narcissist. And I believe that she most likely became that way. Might have been, you know, a combination of narcissism as a young girl with a combination of Chucky, because she talks about her mother a lot. And then she also takes the police officer that she killed in the beginning. She ends up taking his lighter, and she was like really intrigued with the lighter. And that's another sign. It's like she's thinking to herself like, wow, I have a lighter, explosion, you know. But it just shows you the relationship between Tiffany and Chucky, and it's very it's not love, it's like demon possession. It's you know, they're in this constant competition with each other. Another thing is that he the way he told her, like, oh, I expected you to, you know, fall off by now, you know, I would have thought you looked, you know, you would have let yourself go. It's like they want to destroy you. They want to treat you bad. They want you to go through all these things, and they want you to destroy yourself. Instead of being grateful that she resurrected him, he's like, hey, you didn't let yourself go. I'm kind of shocked. I thought you were weaker. I'm surprised. I'm even surprised you resurrected me because I was an asshole to you. You know, like, that's their attitude. They can't believe that you're hooked on them because of the sex, because they're thinking to themselves, I'm a plastic doll. I'm a plastic doll. I don't feel anything. But for some reason, because if you notice in the movie, Chucky says that he gets slightly aroused because although he's plastic, his plastic part gets hard and he wants it to come down. So he's like, yeah, you know, I need to get this off, but I don't enjoy it. It's not something I enjoy. It's just sex. I can do it with anyone. You know, the last girl I did it to, I killed her and I threw her in a barrel. And that's what he basically says about that ring that he took. So he killed someone over property. That's another thing. It's the narcissist is very, when it comes to money, they're very, very money hungry. There's no loyalty with them. They're not loyal to anyone. The thing about growing and having a business and growing in life and elevating yourself is that although you can't trust anyone, because the narcissist doesn't trust anyone, they feel as if someone's going to get them back because they know they've done wrong to everyone. So they feel as if they're paranoid. They're paranoid people. And they feel like someone's going to do it to them. It's kind of like being out in the wilderness. And this man is an animal. He's going to attack you like the monster he is. And if you're domesticated, you're not going to be able to defend yourself, especially if no one's told you that, hey, there's some people out here who are real wolves in sheep clothing, you know? And I think that's the part of the narcissist that's so scary, is that it's like this monster inside of them that they're willing to have sex with anyone. It's like no one taught them any morals. There's no loyalty. There's no reason to do anything. It's just their way or the highway. You can give these people facts of things and they're just, they're going to do the opposite of everything, and they're always going to lie about things that don't make any sense. Things that are, I've been in situations where the narcissist would lie about the dumbest things that I would just be like, okay, yeah, this person, they have to be a liar, because if they'll lie about something so small, imagine, So that's the thing about the narcissist. Everything about them, you guys, it's superficial, it's fake, it's plastic. Another thing I noticed is that after this scene where she resurrected him, or Chucky or whatever, she ends up locking him up because she's pissed. She's been waiting all these years, and then she tells him, I can't believe after all these years you still haven't changed. And it's like she's older now. She keeps talking about her mother. Her mother's not alive anymore, and she still remembers all of the things her mom was telling her. And it lets you know that at the time when her mom was telling her, like, hey, stay away from this guy, she didn't respect her mother. There was some type of neglect that must have happened where she didn't respect her mother. But in the end, she started to respect the things her mother had told her, because although maybe her mother hadn't lived her life according to the rules she set up for her, she realized that a lot of the things her mother was telling her was because of her experience. And maybe her mother was numb to the pain because she'd been through so much. But Tiffany met one of the worst type of guys. She must have met someone worse than her father, And that's what I believe, is that Tiffany met someone worse than her father, and like double worse, because he ended up being a serial killer. And she longed for that type of love because she didn't have that male image. So now she longed for that love, and she held on to Chucky no matter what. So she's realizing that after so many years, she didn't have any children by him. You know, all those promises about getting married, everything was a lie. And she knew it was a lie, but she always kind of had hope. She knew he was evil. She knew he was killing people. And she knew that he was an evil soul that's willing to kill anyone and everyone, their own family, anyone. This is the same as the narcissist. You believe it's just you or the next supply, but really the narcissist is out to destroy everyone around them, their friends, their family. Their family gets tired of them. Even if their family is filled with narcissists, they get tired of them too. And Chucky doesn't care about family or anyone. But if you see that Tiffany keeps talking about her mother, that lets you know that Tiffany wasn't as evil as Chucky. Is just being around him for so long. She changed, you know, and when she changed, when she split in half like Chucky, she realized that she could never go back to being who she used to be. She could never even try to be with a nice guy, because Mr. Nice Guy doesn't exist for her anymore in her mind. Mr. Nice Guy, that doll, it doesn't exist. She realized that all these Mr. Nice Guys around her are really Chuckies. And they're everywhere. They're everywhere, you guys. Hide your kids. Hide your wives. They're everywhere. Seriously. And seriously, like, it's crazy. You'll be surprised. These people are regular people. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are in the military. Some of them are doctors. Some of them are teachers. Some of them work at Disneyland. Some of them are working at, you know, Chuck E. Cheese, and they're serving you your pizza. It's scary when you find out that a lot of these people aren't who they say they are. It could be your neighbor. It could be your dad, your cousin, anyone. Is like, get out, you know. Another thing I noticed is that when she locked him up after she realized that he was never going to change, she locked him up in this baby crib. And while he was in the baby crib, he was building some boxes that had letters on them, and he spelled out with the letter boxes, "Kill Tiffany slow." And I was like, wow, like, Tiffany doesn't understand that this person is a serial killer. They want to kill everyone. The only reason he's with Tiffany is because it's like Batman. It's like, no, not like Batman. Well, it's like the Joker and Harley Quinn. You know, it's like, I have someone to know what I'm doing and to basically be okay with what I'm doing. And I love them, but I hate them at the same time, because I want to kill them. I want to kill them just like everyone else. But I need them around, because then I won't have anyone to talk to. This is why you feel close to the narcissist sometimes, because they talk to you about everything, and you start to feel like they're your best friend, because they talk to you about their human being problems. But they're not talking to you about their spiritual problems. Their spiritual problems are demonic. They won't talk to you about that unless they're telling you that they're either God, they're mocking God, or they're claiming they're Satan himself. So that lets you know that the narcissist, you guys, they're after everyone. And it's not just you. It's like, I want to hurt you. And I want to hurt you slowly. I'm going to keep you around for a long time, because I need you in order to feed off other people, to stay calm, to not lose it, because I feel like I'm going to kill everyone. I'm going to hurt everyone. And I know it's wrong to feel that way, because if I should hurt anyone, it should be myself for feeling that like this. These people are conflicted with themselves. So what happens is that the narcissist is conflicted with themselves. They kill you slowly. When they do find a new supply, it's just a new thrill. And they also feel as if they've groomed someone to understand parts of who they are, only to find out that that person will only think they're either crazy, they won't feel comfortable with their behavior as the time goes by. They'll run, and then it'll be the breakup, makeup for months, maybe years, until it starts getting verbal violence. They'll tell you to go out on the street and make money and treat you like you're the lowest of the low. And this is why these type of men are the same type of men who have women doing things that they shouldn't be doing at a young age. They're nasty, disgusting people. If they can pimp their own damn kids, they would. They're disgusting people. Really. They really, really, really are, you guys. And it's nothing to be jealous. I know it's painful. I know it's hurtful. It's like, oh my God, I love you. But trust me, watch this movie and you're going to see it. And it's going to disgust you. And you're going to realize, like, no, I can't live like Tiffany. I mean, it's like a lot of people praise that relationship, like, oh, I want a love like Tiffany and Chucky, not knowing that in reality, they're already in that type of relationship. Another thing I noticed is that when he wrote the letters on there with her name and said, kill Tiffany slowly, he also said, the machine, there was like a piano machine, and it said spell woman, and he had the letters where he could spell woman, and he spelled BITCH, and he goes, shows how much you know. That lets you know another sign to a sociopath, psycho, demonic creature is that they hate all women. These narcissist men, they hate all women. And that's what I got during that scene. Another thing is that there was pictures. Let me see. What do I remember? Another scene. Tiffany puts a fake doll inside of the crib with Chucky, and then she makes fun of him, and she's like, oh, since you're so plastic, I'm going to give you a plastic doll. And then she throws a plastic doll in there, and then she just locks them up together again, and then she throws some rice at Chucky's face, and you could just see Chucky like, oh, I'm going to get you, BITCH, like, I'm coming for you. Like, you think I'm going to forget this? Like, you think this is a game? You think I'm playing with you? Like, I know I haven't killed you because, but I kill everyone. Don't get it messed up. I'll kill you too. It's just I haven't killed you because you're the only person that really knows me for me. And then the narcissist will make you feel like, hey, you don't really know me like that. Other people know me better than you. And you're like, no, you're only good to them because they don't know you. And he's getting off on that because you're telling him or her, you don't really know me. They don't really know you. You're telling them they don't really know you, and you treat them better. And then they'll tell you they know me better than you. I treat them nice because you don't know how to treat me. But in reality, they know what they're doing. They know everything they've done to you. They don't care. They don't care about anyone. They think it's funny. It's a game. They just enjoy watching you get mad and get angry. But if you lash out or you black out, because they push you at the point where you might black out or you might feel like you might hurt them, because it's like they pushed you at that end. You might be a really good person and just ran across the wrong bad person. The narcissist is the boogeyman. The narcissist is the type of man your parents should have told you to run away and hide from, like the Little Red Riding Hood. He's the beast. He's the wolf. And it's crazy because after this scene, you guys, he is like pissed, and he's like, I'm going to kill you. And eventually the doll that he locks, the doll that Tiffany put inside the crib, she ends up grabbing, Chucky ends up grabbing the ring, and he starts like trying to break the crib, and Tiffany's in the bathtub taking a little bath, and while Tiffany's taking a bath, Chucky comes in there, and I'm not sure if he stabbed her, but I remember that the TV ended up going inside the tub and Tiffany ended up getting electrocuted. And that's how he ended up killing her. So she thinks it's a game. When she's finally done with the games that Chucky's playing with her, she's like, okay, you don't want me? Then here, you need a plastic doll because I've done everything I could for you. You need someone that's as plastic as you. And Chucky is like, yeah, you're right, I do. But this is part of the trick. I'm killing you slowly. The part of the trick is that even though now you've figured me out, I've changed you, and now you want to get away and you want to change your life, but I can't let you go. I've been waiting to kill you. I've been waiting to kill you. It's just I needed someone to just stick it out with me while I'm doing all this crazy demonic crap. I need someone to believe my lies. I needed someone, a backup plan just in case I get caught doing some crazy stuff. I can say I was at your house the whole time. That's literally how they think of people. They don't view people as people that they care about. It's like in their mind, it's like every day they're on something every day. On their phones, everything they do, it's something going on there. And it's not so much because they just want to make you jealous, because they're out to destroy. Tiffany couldn't understand that he killed other people over a ring, over money, over materialistic things. The narcissist is the same way. They're very greedy people. There's nothing there. It's a doll. And he kills her. He kills Tiffany, you guys. And after he kills her, he basically does some voodoo and he resurrects Tiffany's soul, because he's made Tiffany do so many bad things by staying with him, because she knew about all the bad things that he was doing and she decided to stay. And although Tiffany would say she's a good person, she was seeing what Chucky was doing, and after a while she even joined him to do malicious things. She bit the apple from the tree. Then he takes her soul, and now he puts her in this doll because she's now plastic just like him. She basically sold her soul, and now she's plastic. She's evil. But it's a little girl. It's a plastic doll little girl. And when she's resurrected into this doll, Chucky is out there just he's happy. He's drinking water from a fishbowl with a straw, watching the fish slowly run out of water and then slowly run out of air. That's what they do to the people that they're with. Another thing that I noticed is that in this movie there was a couple that they basically they followed around with, and they didn't follow them around, but if you guys watch the movie, basically this couple wanted to be together, but the young lady's uncle was like a psychopath. And what it was basically showing during the movie was that the psychopath uncle had control over the police force. So that's what it's showing, that these demons are in the police force. They're, like I said, they could be anywhere. And there's different levels of them. But even those people, what it showed was that they kept doing things to get the gentleman in trouble because they didn't want them to be a couple. And what he did was tried to plant drugs inside of his truck to arrest him. So everything that officer was doing was escalating, doing things. First pulling them over, giving them a warning, then pulling them over and putting drugs in their car, letting you know that narcissist demons are in the police force, and these are the people that are pulling people over nothing, making up lies and giving people even the death sentence over crimes that they've committed. You have full-blown devils everywhere, and it's like, you better just not be in the wrong place this is another thing that Chucky said, now that I'm thinking about it. He said, I guess you were at the right place at the wrong time, or something like that. And that's because it was benefiting him. And that's what a lot of people don't think about. You're like, how the hell did I end up being with that psychopath narcissist? Because you were at the wrong place at the time where the narcissist was preying. If you met wherever you met them, you weren't the only one they approached, whether it was online or in person. And I seen a case on TV where it was a security guard working at a bar, and he was looking at young ladies' IDs and looking at their address, and that's how he was picking his rape victims, And I realized, like, wow, that's why I always say it's like a jungle out there, and you just don't know until it's too late. So don't let it be too late. A narcissist comes in your life, and if you're still alive, to teach you that there's narcissist monsters that are not domesticated, are not regular. They don't have morals or anything like that. So they've seen a lot, and they've done too much, and they're programmed to want to hurt you. This is something that they feel within them. They don't know why they feel this way. They know that they're different. They know that they shouldn't feel like this, but they do. Another thing that I noticed in this movie is that it shows a lot of references of smoking weed. And that's something that I've been realizing lately, is that a lot of people, say, weed is bad and things like that. And what I noticed is that in this movie, the people that were smoking weed were numb. Like Chucky was walking towards the police officer's car to set up his car on fire, and it was somebody that was smoking weed. And when they saw them, when they saw Chucky, they were like, is that a doll? And it's like, bro, I'm tripping right now. And I know that, people are like, that's very exaggerated. People don't act like that. Not everyone acts like that. That's very exaggerated. If I would have saw a doll, I would have known it's a doll. But the whole purpose of that scene was to tell you that, tell the audience, was that sometimes when you're that relaxed doing drugs, you're super relaxed. You can be too relaxed where you might see a monster, but it's not really going to bother you because you're too relaxed. So if you're around narcissist friends, friends, and then they bring a narcissist around, you're so relaxed and your instincts are down. So if you're seeing a monster in front of you, your instincts are down because you're too relaxed. And then you might think, you might get scared because you're high, but you're going to be thinking to yourself, oh, I'm just tripping out right now. I'm high. Just like the guy in the movie. Oh, I'm just tripping out right now. And it's like, no, your senses are trying to kick in, but you're too relaxed. And that's why, it's good to not be smoking and drinking, because as we know, even alcohol is filled with spirits. That's why, when you go to bars and clubs, it's spirits everywhere that just linger around, waiting to jump into these people's weak, unconscious bodies, people who haven't woke up yet. And it's messed up because some people are trying to wake up, and these demons, they're like, oh, heck no, can't have her wake up, can't have him wake up. So if you're here, it's for a reason. It's for a greater purpose. Let's see, what else did I notice in this movie that I wanted to point out? Chucky did marry her when they became, when she finally basically sold her soul. He did marry her, but in the end, when she did die, or she was dying, because, she never truly dies, she stays in that spirit, in that demonic spirit. She stays being that spirit. And, when she was all burned up in the end of this movie, Chucky still didn't want anything to do with her. He was more about himself and being a serial killer than Tiffany. Even if that was his partner in crime, it was like, I will still kill you, Tiffany, And that's why when you see a lot of these couples that get caught together doing these heinous crimes, you notice that when they finally get caught and they're talking, they blame each other because they're narcissists. They've sold their souls, and they're in agony every day. They don't know what to do, but they feel like they need to stay together because, mostly Tiffany feels like she needs to stay with him because she basically sold her soul to Chucky. That's why Chucky feels like he's in control and he's the one who has the power. And he always feels like he's always a couple steps ahead of Tiffany. But then he also underestimates Tiffany a lot because, see, Tiffany has anger. She has this anger in her that's like, oh, well, I'll kill you too, but she doesn't want to leave him. Then I noticed that they had like a gay friend in the beginning, and I could tell that he was very narcissistic as well, because there was a young couple in the beginning that I told you guys about that the uncle didn't want her to be in this relationship. So when she was going out to prom, she had told her best friend, the gay dude, like, hey, I told my uncle that you play hockey. I told him that, you're on a scholarship. And when he got there, the uncle was questioning him. And he tells the uncle that he didn't have a scholarship for hockey, that he had a scholarship for, for ice skating. And the uncle gave him this look like, I thought you were like, basically, like, I feel like the gay dude set her up. Like, I'm pretty sure that he should have known better. I'm pretty sure that she had everything planned out to the point where it was like, she knew she planned this out. She planned her best friend, the gay dude, to come pick her up. She planned everything out. And yet, he acts as if every question the uncle asked, he answered the opposite of what he was supposed to say. And what you know about narcissists is that they always like to do the opposite because they want to create chaos. And they tell on each other. And they all work together. So if you realize that the gay dude is connected to the uncle, and the uncle is connected to the other police officer, and it's like they're all connected to each other. Like, all these narcissists, they're vibrating off the same energy. And it was like they were gaining up on her. And then Tiffany was jealous of her throughout the whole movie, even wanted to kill her because she was good. She hadn't been turned evil yet. And she was holding on to being good. She was holding on to love. And that boy, Mr. Nice Guy, he was holding on to love as well. And Chucky would say, oh, there's no such thing as real men, Tiffany. But Tiffany was seeing with her own eyes with what a real man was. And she realized that she wasted all those years. And there was such thing as a real Mr. Nice Guy. And she was witnessing this couple. And this is why Tiffany got burned in the end. Because she wanted them to love each other in the end. She wanted that love in that couple to be what she never had. She realized that young girl was what she wasn't anymore. That Chucky had changed her. She realized that, and she was older now. And this is a young girl, and this young boy, she's thinking to herself like, wow, he's doing everything my mom told me. Like, my mom told me this is the type of guy I need to go towards. And these were the type of guys I never liked. I always wanted someone like Chucky. And she realizes till it's too late that she had all these nice guys that she overlooked. And it was because it was the spirit of that narcissist that kept her going back. So she was getting blessed by good people, good men, but she kept going back to the narcissist. And the narcissist, in the beginning of the movie, when he was building the block, said that he was going to kill Tiffany slowly. And that was the definition of killing Tiffany slowly. The narcissist doesn't care about anyone, even if they go back to past supplies. It's to finish them off, to kill them off. It's about killing everyone's dreams, you guys. And not just everyone's dreams. It's about making sure that your time here on earth is miserable, so that by the time you turn around, where did the time go by? I was just 20 years old. I was just 30 years old. I was just 40 years old. I was just 50 years old. I was just 60 years old. And then you're like, what the hell? And the narcissist is like, yeah, I know. I never cared. I know. Yes, I married you, had kids. I know, I never cared. I'm the time waster. Didn't you know? I think I told you years back. You just didn't believe me. Yes, I know we're old as hell. Yes, I know I'm freaking 80 years old and I just got caught for paying for prostitutes. Yes, I know. Yes. You don't want to marry this type of person. You want to marry a good guy, a good woman, or stay by yourself. If someone's not feeding your soul and they're draining your soul, they're killing you slowly. And they don't come from God. They come from a whole nother source. And when you were younger, you might have not known because you thought that it was a movie. It was a fairy tale movie where, you meet a boy, that you like each other, you kiss, you get married, have a baby, and you live happily ever after. And you grow up knowing that there's murderers and rapists around you. You just are like, I've never met one. I'm so glad I've never came across one. But most likely you have. You just didn't know. I'm sure there's people in your life. You just don't know because everyone's wearing a mask. So you can't trust no one but yourself. If they're not feeding your soul and it doesn't feel right, it's not right. It's better to be in peace, you guys. Because when you're in peace, you're restoring yourself. Although it hurts, it's like being in a field full of grass, and you might have burned yourself a little bit. But if you water yourself every single day, little by little, that grass will grow greener and greener each day, till you finally realize that this person was a parasite and they were eating your garden. And then when you have all this grass, this soil, and all these seeds, you realize that you can become so fruitful. You realize that this isn't a dirty burnt grass road anymore. It's a road full of green grass, and there's trails on the side, and there's soil filled with seeds. And you realize that, hey, it's not impossible for all these seeds around me to grow into trees and become fruitful. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. I have my story, and I have my story for a reason. Because as I become alive and I live within my truth, because I didn't go out without a fight. I didn't sell my soul. I'm beat up, but I didn't sell my soul. I'm beat up. I'm torn into pieces, but I did not sell my soul. Whoever's with the narcissist, they can have them. The narcissist is no good. They're no good for anyone. All the time you've been with them, they've been miserable. They've been making you miserable. And that's what they'll do to everyone else. You know what it's like. This person couldn't change overnight. This person can't change after a month, a year. This person hasn't changed. Not this type of person. This demon that's rooted in them, they love it. And the more evil they continue to do because of their anger, because they have anger in them, they don't want to repent. They know what they're doing. You can tell them, hey, look at me. I was like you, narcissist. I went through the same things you went through, narcissist. But I decided one day, because of you, narcissist, that I was going to change and not be like you. And I became fruitful quickly. And I thought it would take years, because it's taken you years, narcissist, to get yourself back together. See, the thing about a real person, a person that's alive, is that you can lose it all, but because you have faith in your heart, you can get it back. The narcissist wants you to lose that faith because they have lost that faith. All they have is anger. You're the one with the faith. And once they try to diminish you from that, that's what makes them feel good. Once you feel better about yourself, they feel worse about themselves again. I'm telling you, the moment you let them go, everything they've done to you, I'm not saying everything they've done to you, exactly the same things will happen to them, but you will definitely be releasing all of their energy right back onto them. And I believe that everything comes with a price. This relationship, because, you have free will, it got as bad as it got because it came with a price. You didn't want to leave. You have free will. And it's messed up because it's painful. They're literally like mermaids, and they're sucking you in with their angelic voice, and then they try to kill you and suck the life out of you, and it sucks because you're like, well, how is it my fault that I got addicted? You know? So it's painful, but then it's like it's a curse and a blessing, because then you also got a lot out of it. A lot of knowledge, a lot of strength. You're very intuitive now. Look, before you were just domesticated. You were domesticated and you didn't know how you were domesticated. Now you understand that you have morals and you have empathy and you have certain characteristics that the narcissist doesn't have, and that's what makes you different. Because yes, you can be a monster like them as well, but you're not. You choose to be different. You choose to not be diabolical. And you choose to fight that inner monster, that hate that the narcissist has tried to leave behind, and to understand, not to be like Tiffany, thinking to themselves, I thought you were going to change. I thought you were going to change. Meanwhile, you're changing yourself. You're forgetting who you are. And you're wasting time, because the narcissist is a time waster. Don't waste your time on anyone but yourself today. Anything that you dreamed of doing, do it for you. Love yourself just as much as you loved the narcissist. Put yourself first for once. There's been many times that you gave so many chances to this person, so many, just so they can prove you that they've never changed. Don't believe the hype. They don't change for anyone. I'm going to leave the video below. I really wanted to go over the entire movie more in details, but I did the best that I could, because I knew that I ran my mouth for a long time, and my mouth is so dry right now, you guys. Oh my God. My mouth is so dry. But, keep dreaming, you guys. Stay safe. You will realize that when you were younger, you might have had a lot of men that were approaching you. They're wild animals. I know when I was younger and I would take public transportation, because I lived in the city and there were subways and things like that, and trains and buses. And when I would walk with my uniform, because I went to a Catholic school, I would have grown men that would pull over and ask me to get in their car. And I would think to myself, like, maybe they didn't know how old I was, but any girl that's wearing a school uniform, they knew what they were doing. And I realize now that I'm older, like, wow, I remember all the times I was walking with my uniform and men would approach me, like older men. And I was walking home alone by myself. And you realize that we don't live in a world where your children should just walk home alone. Like, these people are everywhere, driving vans and throwing you in the back seat and all type of things. And if you realize events from your past, you will realize that there were always these wild beasts around you trying to get you through someone. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know your experiences, share your stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.